Shannon, are you home? Police department, if anyone's inside, make yourself known.
Chris Watts just annihilated and buried his entire family.
Chris did not take into account security cameras. He didn't watch enough CSI.
The next door neighbor is showing the police officer the surveillance footage of Chris Watts loading up his truck at 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's on video 527. But he backs like into the garage partially because you can't see like the tailgate area, so you can't see what he's loading.
Nobody was going to buy that Shanann would take her children and run off and never be heard from again.
You told me that she went on a play date with
He had every confidence in the world. He honestly thought he could fool everyone.
Nobody's heard from me, nobody's seen.
This is my flesh and blood. This is like what I wanted all my life.
This young lady and her kids are missing right now.
A missing persons report is issued to the public saying that Shanann, Bella, and Cece are all missing.
Police in Colorado have issued an alert for a pregnant mother and her 2 young daughters. They were reported missing on Monday.
In a matter of hours, suddenly the small town of Frederick turned into the epicenter of media focus for that night's news.
Chris and Jordan, it's good to meet you. Thanks for talking with us.
There was a media frenzy. Everyone, everywhere, around the world, everyone was interested in this case from the get-go.
So Chris goes on multiple Denver TV channels and pleads for the public to help him find his loved one, even though he knows there's no way they're coming back.
I have no inclination of where they're at right now. Like, I've exhausted like every friend that I know of, and every friend that I have has called friends that Shanann has that maybe I didn't know about. I have no idea like where they went. And it's just earth shattering. I don't feel like this is even real right now. It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from. I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad.
He was saying all the right things, but there was something in your gut that you knew that he did it.
He smirks after he makes a comment.
I want those kids back so bad.
And that's what we call duping delight. He thinks he's such a great performer and pulling this whole story off.
Bella was gonna start kindergarten next Monday.
He says Bella was to start kindergarten soon. He's viewing her as dead because he already knew she was not going to be coming home.
Something just seems off. His body language and his mannerisms are raising red flags.
It's really hard to even suspect anything right now as far as how she could have left, or if someone came picked her up, or if somebody took her.
There was something more to this case than all of us realized. A lot of things aren't adding up. Police want to sit him down and talk with him.
And then it sort of spiraled from there.
I'm gonna sit next to you so we're looking at it together.
The police officer set this up as a very informal interview at the Frederick Police Department. Chris is brought in, sat down, given something to drink, but at the same time, up in the corner of the room, a camera is recording.
The police officer is trying to gather information, building rapport and creating safeness.
Have you ever watched the news and said 2 girls and a pregnant woman go missing? Okay, if that's all you heard, what do you think the public thinks? Husband. The day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. What do you think about that?
People knew that we were having marital issues. They're gonna look at me, especially with the way everything looks. On that night, I woke up that morning, early that morning, and I told her like the disconnection it's there, like it's not going away. Like the connection we had in the beginning, it's not there anymore. It's like I don't feel like the love we have is there anymore. At the end, we just said, you know, she said she was going to take the kids to her friend's house for the day. She would be back. 5:30, that's when I went to work.
What do you think happened?
At first, I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house, just decompressing.
What's going on, Steve?
Yeah. But after today, like with the onslaught of all the cars, all the police cars, all the news, all the canine units, it's making me lean the other direction about someone took her.
Okay.
But it's just, if someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew.
It's crazy to think that he could,
that he would just be so compliant, knowing right where they were.
Are you sure she said she'll be back later? On a scale of 1 to 10, how positive?
That's a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to ask you about your marriage and infidelity.
I have never cheated on my wife. She's always been a trustworthy person. I've always been a trustworthy person. I fully expect if we ever thought about straying another way, that we would tell each other before it happened.
I think that sounds ridiculous.
They're asking more in-depth questions, and they're also starting to corner him, not only through his story, but also physically, by making him sit in the corner of the room and setting themselves up between him and the door, as if the only way you're getting out this door is if you go through me first.
This doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. So can we talk about the tale of two Chris's? Chris number 1 fell out of love with his wife, started wondering what it might be. He didn't have a wife to take care of and a girl to take care of. Spent some time alone, liked that time alone, came home, may or may not have had a conversation about how to get out of this marriage or how to fix it, but probably how to get out of it. Was looking at a bachelor pad in Brighton and did something terrible to his wife and kids, and that may have been an accident. And I think it was an accident.
That's not the Chris you're looking at right now. The Chris you're looking at is the man who loves these kids and loves his wife and will never, ever, ever do anything to harm them.
Why should I believe you?
Because I'm a very trustworthy person.
Chris was almost overconfident that his ability to charm would win the investigators over.
You talk to any of my friends, any of her friends, they know me. They know I would never harm my kids. I would never harm my wife. I'm not about confrontation.
Now, Chris is portraying himself as the least likely suspect in this scenario.
I love these girls. I love these girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids. Nothing.
Nothing you've told me tonight makes sense. Nothing you've told me tonight feels like the truth. There's something that happened that got maybe a little bit out of control.
There was no fight. There was nothing physical. It was a conversation. We didn't raise our voice. Nothing.
He is a free man. He's able to walk out of the room at any point if he wants, but he continues to offer up information to any question that they ask.
They're going to come home safe, correct? When you find the guy.
When we find the guy, they're going to come home.
Life in prison would be that's what I would think with 2 kids that are involved.
What if he hurt them?
I'm not sure if that penalty is even used. Is it used in Colorado? I'm not even sure what is the death penalty.
The investigators tells him, "You're probably wondering why I asked some of these questions, and you're probably wondering if I think you're a suspect.
I'm not the only one who thinks that there's a possibility you have something to do with this.
You're going to go home tonight and think about the moments where you might have slipped. Come back tomorrow and we'll continue to talk."
You know that we have to get to the bottom of this. You know that?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you take a polygraph?
Sure.
Chris leaves a free man from the Frederick Police Department on August 14th. On August 15th, Chris agrees to do a lie detector test.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
He thought that they were not looking at him. He thought he could breeze through a polygraph test.
Right now, there's only one person in this room that knows what the truth is. And in about 5 minutes, there's going to be 2 of us.
That's one heck of a way to start a polygraph.